Hello, my friends. I am Peymon Mottahedeh, the president of Freedom Law School, which I created in 1996. In this presentation, I will cover a common question that comes to me from senior citizens. They ask, Peymon, I live in part or substantially on Social Security payments. If I don't pay income tax, will that affect me in any way, continue getting Social Security? Or if they're not at retirement age, they say, well, I expect to be retiring in a few years, and I was planning on Social Security income to supplement my lifestyle. Can I still do that or not? Well, in this presentation, I will answer those questions and give you the alternatives that are available to you. So with that, before we go there, let's go to talk about Social Security. Let's look at the name first. Social Security. That word talks about social. What does that refers to? That refers to society. Society bringing you security. Right? Well, what does that rhyme with? Where does that go with? The term socialism. Socialism also comes from the term society. The belief that society knows what's best for each of you. You are dumb, stupid, incompetent. Society, through government, knows best what's best for you, which is why if you look at the definition of socialism, you see it right here. Okay? So it's any of the various economic and political theories or movements advocating, oh, look at that, collective or government ownership and administration of the means of production and the distribution of goods. Let's talk about that. So this collective is society. Society is a collection of all of us. So the collective practically becomes the government, okay? And so they actually own you. They take part of you in taxes, and then they distribute the goods through giving you some of the money. Those of you who get these benefits or payments from government, you decide what goods should be bought. So you affect that, okay? So the distribution of goods. So that's what it is. It's a socialist program. Well, first, let's get straight on the air. Unfortunately, when they started the program in 1937, more and more of us has become used to and accustomed to the normalcy of this socialist system. Okay, this form of taxation of your labor. When they tax your labor in any way, okay, ownership, governmental ownership of you is income taxation of your hard-earned money. That's government ownership of you. You become a slave. As a slave, government takes some of your labor and then give it to somebody else. They redistribute it to other people. By giving money, it's the same as goods. And if you look at, folks, this is one of the 10 planks or goals of the Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx in 1848. 10 goals of the Communist Manifesto. And we'll look at that closely, okay? Abolition of private property. Yep, in land, application of all rents of land to public purpose. That's a property tax we have, folks. Heavy property tax. But look at this one, number 2. Yep. A heavy and progressive or graduated income tax. Well, guess what? That's exactly what a Social Security is. Now, it's not. It stops after a certain amount, like $140,000 is taxed. But it's actually a regressive tax. That's right. After first $140,000, you pay Social Security tax on that. After that, you don't pay anything at all. So taxes the poor. taxes the middle class, taxes the little small business owner, self-employed, independent contractor, salesman, entrepreneur who's just getting started. The rich don't pay that. So, but the guys believe that it's a wonderful thing, and that's how you guys going on this communist system, that the community knows best. It's the same thing as socialism. Essentially, community, collective, the government, society knows what's best for you. We take it and we do with it what we want, what the collective thinks is best for all of you, right? So let's be clear about what we're talking about this issue. Now, they're sending statements to people, the Social Security statements to many people to get you liking this scam, this communist socialistic scam. And even the government tells you in that. Here it is. Look at this. Understanding your retirement benefits, they tell you that Social Security is not meant to be your only source of income in retirement. On the average, Social Security will replace about 40% of your annual pre-retirement earnings, although this can vary based on each person's circumstances. Yep, less than half of what you're making is going to be perhaps in Social Security. So, but many people in America are trapped in a situation that do not have any other form of retirement. Remember, only government workers have these days pensions. Okay? Some people have 401ks at their companies, but most don't. Many people do not put money in individual retirement accounts. And biggest of all, by paying income tax and Social Security taxes you never legally owed in the first place, you are poor. You have no money to invest in your future. So you've been robbed all your life, paying these Social Security taxes that you do not owe at all. Now you're left wondering, well, I paid into it for 30 years, 40 years. Should I get some of that money back? I'll address that question for you guys. Just hang in there. First, let me cover the issue of the law. Okay? We know that for income taxes from Internal Revenue Code Title 26, what you see right here, right? The federal tax law is right here in the Internal Revenue Code. This is the Bible of the IRS, folks, right? You've seen me bring it in front of you many times. Okay? Yep. And all those 10,000 pages of minutia, gobbledygook, confusing language deliberately, and the definitions are not in the front. They're hitting in the back. Section 7,701. And so here we see in this title, Title 26, the Internal Revenue Code, Section 7701, the term United States and state where the income tax, just about everything in this tax laws applies to, with a few exceptions. United States and state mean only the District of Columbia. That's right. State means only the District of Columbia. In the United States means only the states, which is, as we now know, District of Columbia and the District of Columbia again. So that's the people that got to pay income tax. Citizens and residents of the District of Columbia. Not the people of the 50 states, because people of the 50 states are not listed in there. Now, we covered in other videos also federal government workers, contractors, pensioners also got to pay income tax, but the main, this is the main category that we wrote the law. Now, look at this. For Social Security taxes, however, they're Chapter 21, they're here with Title 26. Their subtitle C is employment taxes. Chapter 21 is Federal Insurance Contributions Act, or FICA. The main part of these taxes, so-called Social Security taxes, is FICA. And here, in definitions, they talk about, wages. Wages means all remuneration from employment. And employment, of course, has to do with activities within the United States. And then we see in the United States, look at that. This, for the purpose of this chapter, okay, United States, in a geographical sense, includes only these 4 island U.S. territories, not the 50 states, not even the D.C. So, for FICA purposes, We say you are a U.S. citizen. You are saying you are a citizen of not of the 50 states or D.C., but of either Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands, Guam, or the American Samoa. But of course, the crooks in the federal government wanted you to be a slave. They didn't tell you that. But if that's the definition for paying into the system, it's also the same definition for taking out of the system. So, yeah, if you want to declare yourself to be citizen of one of these 4 island territories, you can do that and get Social Security. Now, I know they deceived you to do it inadvertently, do that anyways. If you've done that already, you already done it. Yeah, that's why you get paid Social Security. But I want you to know that's where the system stands. That's what they've done. Okay? Now, let's go to Congressional Research Service, the Social Security Trust Funds, okay? This is crreports.congress.gov. This is the official federal government publication. Here's what's going on with the Social Security. One of the lies they tell you is that your money goes in a trust fund, set aside and invested for you. Yes, you have your account. And these states make this send in the mail, deceive you to thinking, oh yeah, they put money aside for me. Yeah, one of these reports, let me show you that I showed you earlier, like one of these. Yep, you guys get these scam, your Social Security statements, your retirement benefits. This is a scam to make you believe there's a relationship between what you put in and what you put out. There is no relationship between what you put in and what you take out. None. Here it is from the government's own mouth. Look at what they say. Social Security tax revenues are invested in U.S. government securities, special issues. What does that mean? That means government IOU. Government, when they want to borrow money from the federal government, says, you give me $1 million, and I owe you $1 million plus, let's say, 2% interest back within the next 2 years. Okay? Or I pay you, 4% within the next 10 years. That's an IOU. That's a security. I owe you money. That's what the government does. Okay? So the government itself, okay, what they do, check this out. Okay? They put the money invested in the U.S. government saying, I owe myself money. You get that? That's really what they're doing. They're not going to somebody else and say, I'll borrow money from you. No, they're saying, I lend someone money, but that someone that lending me is myself. I borrow money from myself. You can't borrow money from yourself. It's just a scam. It's a lie. But they have this game, this accounting game, to deceive you. Okay? So the rest of this makes it even more clear. Remember, this is all comes from this government report. Okay? And they say that the Social Security tax are invested in government securities held by the trust funds. Okay? Well, it's worthless. It's a worthless document. Help, okay? And it says, and these securities can earn interest. Oh, I see. Isn't that wonderful? I can pay myself interest. I borrow for myself, and I pay myself interest. That's ridiculous. You cannot buy from yourself. You're going to borrow from yourself or pay yourself interest. If that was the case, I could give myself 1,000% interest on my own money from me and I'd become a millionaire. There's no such thing. Okay, what's really going on, as you see here, is here's the truth, okay? The tax revenues exchanged for the U.S. government securities from me saying I borrow money from myself are deposited into the general fund of the U.S. Treasury. Yeah, they go into the general fund of the U.S. Treasury and are indistinguishable from revenues in the general fund that come from other sources. Oh, wow. They make no difference. Indistinguishable from anything else that goes in the general fund from any other source, income taxes, estate taxes, oil taxes, tobacco taxes, alcohol taxes, import taxes, whatever. It makes no difference. Your money that was paid over the decades, taken from you from your employer, went to the general fund of the U.S. Treasury and was spent on World War II, Korea War, Vietnam War, bank bailouts, Ukraine right now, all the corruption, waste, the criminality of the federal government, Department of Injustice, FBI, CIA, NSA, they spy on you, they set you up for January 6th, and they prosecute you for, complaining about them stealing the election. Yeah, your money goes to pay all these criminal activities of the federal government, the general fund, just as much as all the other taxes. So you have no savings account for you. Your money was not saved for your future. It was spent down a federal rat hole and it's gone. The money that they pay you has come from people that are paying the system right now. They're taking it from person A, stealing from them, and give it to person B that perhaps will be you. So let's get that clear, okay? And now, again, all these are hidden in the law books. All this I'm telling you, they're in the law, but you just didn't know. They're hidden in plain sight, right? But now you see how they deceived you, okay? Let's go. We're going to do something about all this, of course. We're going to get rid of this corrupt system, folks. You shouldn't have to play this system at all, okay? Now, here is the Social Security Administration. Again, it talks about by law income through the trust funds must be invested on a daily basis in securities guaranteed as to both principal and interest by the federal government, which is, again, ridiculous that the federal government borrows from itself. Is no such thing, okay? All right, let's go on. Again, you see they keep saying this is another government source saying that the trust funds are invested in treasury securities that are just as sound as all other U.S. government securities, which is, held by investors. But it's ridiculous that you cannot borrow from yourself. Okay? All right. Now let's go to, let's go to, here we go. Okay, the Waltons. Why do you have the Waltons up there? Okay. Because Social Security was created supposedly for these old people, that at their golden years, they're not going to be hungry. They won't be in poverty. And they won't be forced to eat dog food because it's cheap. Really. They make it act like if you don't have Social Security, grandparents would have to eat dog food or go hungry and die of starvation. That's how they sold it to American people. Isn't that nice of us? We love our parents, great-grandparents. Let's, help them out. Okay? But really, the goal of Social Security is destruction of you and your family by destroying the extended family in America. What's the extended family? The extended family is not just the parent and the children, right? But also includes the grandparents. Yep. That's the extended families. Until 1940s, okay, people retired and lived with their children and grandchildren. That's right. The founding fathers, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, during the War of the States in the 1800s, late 1800s, all the way through 1930s. It was well known. When you get old, you're going to live with your children and their grandchildren and be of help. And the Waltons, the TV series, classic series, it was done in the 1970s, it shows that to you in a very easy way for you to recognize you. Some of you know, some of you check it out. Here it is. You see grandpa there, grandma there, the parents there, and a bunch of kids. Not this 1950s model of the nuclear family. You got mother and father with one child on each side. You have two children. That's nuclear family is not it. Humanity from beginning, thousands of years continuing, always been based upon extended families, grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, nephews, under patriarchy, where the grandfather and grandmother were the heads of the family for the younger people. The old people have wisdom, have experience, have a knowledge of decades. Yes, they have a lot of energy left, but that brain power is worth a lot. And grandparents, as you get older, folks, guess what? You eat less and less and less. That's right. Young people eat a lot, but old people don't. You don't have to feed them that much. They don't require that much. They require that much space because they don't run around that much. They don't move that much. But they're very helpful. And you see in the Walton TV series. Yep. So that's how it was. You had happy families. The grandparents, along with the parents and the children, living together in one house, in the same house. They had maybe one big house, and they all lived together. The grandparents at some point passed away, and they go to heaven. That's fine. And they ate together. They worked together. They helped together. The grandma on the right side helped the mom with the food. The grandpa helped the dad with fixing the house, fixing the car, mechanical, plumbing, whatever stuff came up, or the business advice, how to investments and run a business, all that stuff. That's how it was done in America, folks. But now, with Social Security, here's what they did. They said, hey, grandpa, grandma, you don't have to depend on your children to support you. We will give you some money. We give it to the government, society. So now you can go someplace else. Go to other cheaper community, perhaps, in the middle of nowhere. Get a little small place, and you live by yourself. And maybe you have some of that retirement also. See, because now you're not dependent on your children. See, sometimes people do not get along with the children. See, and another thing they've done, they encourage us to have less children. You see, back in the old days, you see people had a lot of children. Yes, not just a few. The more children you had and grandchildren, the better it was for you. Look at this picture. How many children do you see in here? They had, you can see here, 7 grandchildren. So if some of your children or grandchildren were not good children, the other ones were good. You don't get along with all your children and grandchildren. So that's why one child is a huge mistake. 2 children is still a mistake. Even 3 is not enough. You gotta have a bunch of them. So of your kids, the good ones will help take you in retirement. But they taught us, no, you don't need that many kids. Go have fun. Who wants to have kids? Materialistic. Bigger house, bigger car, more vacations. Go watch this and that, the other. Why have children? Children was known for ages to be source of your retirement. They'll support you, and you support them. And sometimes you may not get along. You try to work together. You got to, as humanity, folks, love each other and work together. That's what our Creator wants us to do, and that's how it was. So it destroyed the family by kicking the grandma, grandpa out. Now, for the first maybe 5, 10 years, maybe 15 years on Social Security, grandpa, grandma are fine. We're still not that old. 65, 70 years old, maybe 75 years old. But they get to be older, like 78, 82, now 85. They get to be really old and need someone to take care of the kids, the grandparents. And now the grandparents, guess what, have moved away. They cut ties, and they no longer live with the children. They're far away from them. To come back to the children to take care of them would be an imposition. So what happens now? All of a sudden, I take care of these old 85-year-old people, 88-year-old. They put you in an old people's home. Some stranger comes and takes care of the grandparents. Not the children that love them, not the grandchildren that love them, but some stranger. And of course, you heard that the abuse goes on because these people are not your relatives. It's just a job for them. That take care of a stranger is not the same as taking care of your own parents. Mom and dad that raised you and loved you. Mom that gave you her milk. And the dad was there from the very beginning to hold you, play with you. You have that connection with them. You're taking your old parents. These strangers don't have the same connection. So at the end, what happens? The grandparents end up dying alone in a stranger's home. And we taught the children, hey, your parents, they took Social Security. They went to old people's home. And then a hospice to die, right? Hospice where the old people to go die. But no, what really should be, you live with your children, help out as much as you can. In very, very old age, I'll take care of you. And when it's time for you to go, your children and grandchildren will be with you all the way to the end until you go back up to heaven. But no, the satanic one world government socialist communist system wants to destroy families. And they've done it by paying off our grandparents. If you're a grandparent, you never knew this. And that's okay. Because now you know what they've done to you and your family and how you don't want to be doing that. So we want back to Walton's, the type of thing. And in fact, I encourage you to go to Real Alex Clark on YouTube and Spotify also. Shouldn't you view this guy? Nuclear family is the cancer, not the cure, by Jefferson Beth. Okay? Not that the mother, father, and children are bad. He's saying, no, what you really want is not, if families are good, but what you really want is an extended family. Grandparents, and aunts and uncles and cousins. Yeah, that eventually families become tribes. Okay? And that's how it's been. We want to get back to that. Okay? And Jefferson Beth, has a good book called Take Back Your Family. Okay? Which I recommend you guys get. All right? From the tires of burnout, busyness, individualism, and the nuclear ideal. That's not ideal, folks. That's not what you see here. You want extended families here. That's what he's trying to show. Okay, and then he has also a website, Jeff and at delisa.com. Check it out. I think you'll like what he has to say. I heard him talk about this stuff. I was happily blown away. Because I always knew inside me about the importance of extended families. The young mother doesn't know how to raise a child. The grandma knows. She shows us her daughter or daughter-in-law. Here's how to change a diaper. How do you feed the baby? How do you get a colicky? How do you take care of them? Why the baby may be crying or not. And supports the young mom. The young man who is working, the young father is 20s or 30s, the grandpa is there as a father. Hey, I show you to be more successful. Work harder and be patient. Here's what's going to happen with your wife and children. You're your father now. You're not a single man anymore. Husband and father. Okay? Guide them and support them to become a successful man in his later ages. Okay? That's what you want. We're going to work towards that, my friends. Okay? So, so should I apply for Social Security benefits? This question keeps coming up. Should I or should I not? Well, I'll tell you about myself first. I'm not a socialist. I'm not a communist. I'm not a collectivist. I don't believe in that governmental stuff. I'm an individual and a member of my family. I believe in families working together. Families support each other. Get with your children. Go live with your children. Plan on living with the children. Let the children know when you grow older, you'll be there to help them, guide them. So that means that when the children are in their 20s, get out of high school, don't stop supporting them. In their 20s, they're still poor. Even in the 30s, they need some support sometimes. Support them in the youth. So when you get to be, now you maybe you're in your 60s, your child's in the 20s or 30s. When you get to be late 70s and 80s, now you get to be older and firm. They want to support you, take care of you. So my suggest is that you stay with your family. Let that family bond be stronger. Do not leave your children. If you left them already, get back with your children. This child or that child. Hopefully we can all be together, but if not, choose their best children, but the most of them are there in that area, live with them, support them. That's number one, what I tell people to do. Now, the question, whether should I apply for Social Security? Again, I would not apply for it ever. For me, as a matter of principle and integrity, I do not believe it, and I think it's wrong for societies as a whole to be socialist and communist. That's a road to destruction and slavery. So I don't want to support that. I do not want to participate in any way in a socialist communist systems. I don't want to pay money into it, and I don't want anything back from it either. Okay? So I would suggest that you consider taking the high road. And because you can. You can. And I'll show you a way out. Now, some of you say, Peymon, I've become dependent upon it. I didn't invest very well. I didn't have very good jobs. And you're right, Peymon, I was ripped off of my income taxes and payroll taxes, so I could not invest and save enough by myself. I need that Social Security to survive. Okay? For meager survival. And I understand that too. Okay? Because they deceived you to be in that poor position. I have a solution for every one of you. Okay? We want to put a stop to this, don't we? You do. You do not want your children and your grandchildren to be in the same situation that you ended up, do you? You love them. So let's do something about it. Let's help your children and grandchildren in America and you at the same time. So when you go to our website, you know we teach people that no law requires 98% of Americans to file and pay income and payroll taxes, all based on U.S. government's official legal websites. Yep. See, and you know that you can restore freedom and regain your power and freedom and never again voluntarily pay the Washington, D.C. swamp legally and safely with guarantee if you choose, right? That's what freedom laws offers, folks. To restore freedom in America for you, your children, and your grandchildren, right? And guess what? We need you. America needs you, the old people on Social Security or planning on Social Security. We need you to restore freedom because you don't have a full-time job anymore. Like young people are working their butts off at some job, meager job, or very busy, high-paying job. Doesn't matter. They don't have the time to do anything. You got the time. And you're the older people. You're the one that teaches the youngsters. So what you want to do is go down and the 7 steps. You want to take the 7 steps to free yourself of IRS deception, which leads to fear, robbery, slavery. Free of all that. When you're no longer deceived, you're no longer in fear. You no longer will be robbed by filling out those 1040 income tax confession trap forms, and you will no longer be a slave either. And you can live free with a 100% guarantee if you choose. So first, educate yourself. Follow the law, step 1. And the filing of tax forms, step 2. Realize the IRS is over 99% bluff, step 3. Step 4, take courage from our victories. And step 5, write your lawmakers about the law. And you can do that for free. But for those of you on Social Security, especially low-income ones, you don't pay any income tax anyways because Social Security, as you know, is not taxable. That's all you make. Even a little bit above that, it's not taxable. We'll get completely tax-free. But I suggest you take the high road and help us bring America to freedom by join 6, Restore Freedom Plan, and step 7, spread the word. That's what I recommend you all consider doing, folks, because that is the key for you and for America to be free. Yep. See, step 6. Okay? And we'll go step 6 now in a different way, folks. It'll be a little bit better to show you here this way. Here we go, step 6. Here we go. This is you. This image you see. America's founding fathers, elder statesmen. Your generation. These are not young men in their 20s or 30s. They're in the 40s, 50s, 60s, or 70s. The older, wiser of generation. Okay? Look at Ben Franklin. and George Washington, they're not youngsters, right? The leaders of them. So we want you, Fedor, to become a modern-day founding father of America. Yes. Okay? So you can be protected from the IRS, join our Restore Freedom Plan, and then, because this way, what do we do? We can give everybody 100% guarantee. When people legally stop filing and pay income taxes with us, as long as they're a member of Restore Freedom Plan, we will prevent the IRS from levying their money for freedom. Law school will reimburse you, and you will not go to prison, all guaranteed based upon U.S. government's official legal websites. Yep. So, but what you want to do after this is step 7. This is where you come in. People on Social Security age no longer have a job, but living on a little bit of Social Security. What do I do? What can I do? This is for you. You become a modern day Paul Revere's of America. Write the Freedom Law School course, okay? And you, after you join the Restore Freedom Plan, and spread the truth to American people. Arm them with the law. This way we can restore America and American families. Yes. You see, if a 20-year-old person tells someone about income tax fraud, people will look at him and say, yeah, you're just a youngster. What do you know? What kind of nonsense are you saying? Or a 60-year-old, a 70-year-old, something like that. People say, well, okay, I don't know about that, but you're older and you're wiser, older than me probably. I may check you out because we all instinctively know older people are more knowledgeable and wiser. So it's your job, folks, you that live on Social Security. Your new job is to go out there, talk to everybody about this, about Freedom Law School and our Restore Freedom Plan to get our country and freedoms back. You go out there, you call us, and we will mail you as many of these brochures about Restore Freedom that say, clearly show you the 7 steps that no law requires 98% of Americans to file pay income and payroll taxes. Okay? So this little thing is a little starter. Get people started on this thing. Okay? Pass it out to people, anybody you know, in person. Yep. Of course, you should also email your friends, text them, share them on your social media, freedomlawschool.org, our website, our videos. So hey, check this out. This guy says it's all based on U.S. government's official legal websites. U.S. government's official legal websites. U.S. government's official legal websites that no law requires you, the people of the 50 states, to pay payroll or income taxes. Okay? Check it out. If it's wrong, please tell me. I can't find anything wrong with this thing. Social media, remember? Email, texting, and pass out the brochures and follow up. Folks, you can't give up on people. Follow up with them 2 days later, 5 days later, you know? Hey, how did it go? You watch a 9-minute video I send you? Our step 1 9-minute video, the first one? What do you think? I'd like to hear your input. I appreciate your opinion. Check this out. Tell me. Okay? So this is the vision I have, folks. Okay? Remember, the only thing necessary for triumph of evil is for good people, men, to do nothing. If you live on Social Security alone and do nothing, evil will win. But if you do your part, it can change big time. In fact, I recommend, especially during tax season, April 15th or September through October 15th, go in front of your local supermarkets, Whole Foods, Publix, Safeway, right? And pass out our brochures to people. Yes. Say, hey, Restore Freedom. You don't have to pay income tax lawfully and safely. Zero income tax is lawfully and safely. Restore freedom. Drain the swamp. You know, any of these kind of slogans in front of supermarkets. You have a First Amendment right to go out in a public place to share information. Yep. Yeah, you can do that. We'll protect you. We'll support you in case supermarket gives you a hard time. Okay? And some people will look at you like, and keep walking by. People will avoid looking at you and walk by. You get those. People look away the other way and walk by. Okay, so what? But then some people are going to say, they're going to come toward you and say, what is that you got? Have a conversation. Restore freedom. Drain the swamp. 98% of Americans do not have to file income tax. Do you file income taxes? Right? And they say, well, isn't everybody? I said, well, 98% of Americans don't have to pay it. And it's all based on U.S. government's official legal websites. I used to believe just like you have to file income tax. Support the FBI, DOJ, CIA, these crooks in the U.S. government. But I found that I don't. We don't have to support our enemies. Okay? So you just got to talk to people, give them a brochure. They see our website, freedomlawschool.org. Okay, in the back. And also, phone number, this bar code thing, they can go check out our website. And remember, on these brochures, you want to put your name and phone number on there. Yes, so that we'll call you. When someone signs up, says, oh, I got this brochure, I'll sign up with you, but with this guy's name on there, we'll call you, say, David, you pass this out to somebody, and you may join. His membership is, let's say, $10,000 for the first year. You will get 50% of that, $5,000. That's more than you make 1 month in a Social Security scam payments. That's right, we give you 50% of the first year membership of someone joining. Now the renewals, only the first year. Why? Because I wanted to thank you for going out there, loving people, be willing to take no, rejection, people looking away, rolling their eyes at you, calling you conspiracy theorists, or whack, or crazy, extremist, whatever. You take all that negative rejection, let it slide off like water off the duck's back, and just go on with your love and share the truth with a smile. And say, next person, okay? And go hand them out, text people, follow up. And then, why not? Why not me supporting you? Freedom also supports you in your love and act of educating and empowering people to live free. To work together to have America be a free country. It's only fair. So you can become literally a liberator of men and women. You free people from being slaves. No longer did have to say, oh gosh, I have to file a 1040 form with the IRS. I hate to do it. I don't understand it. It's confusing. But I got to trust this other tax person to do it right for me. So hopefully I will not get in trouble. IRS will not come after me. Ooh, I'm so scared. I hope this guy does it right because I'm trusting this accountant do the forms correctly. Hopefully he knows the tax laws very good because it's so complex. Hopefully my deductions, expenses, credits will not be audited by the IRS. Oh, master, please accept my expense deductions. Do not audit me, IRS master. Please pick on somebody else, but not me. That's slavery, folks. You are a slave when you sign that 1040 form under oath, telling your master everything is true, correct, and complete, and I owe you this money that I put here. Please, don't check on me. I'm a good little slave. You freeing slaves. You are a liberator. You are feel good about yourself, and we want to reward you And see, by getting 50% of first year membership, folks, now you can get off the Social Security scam dependence. For the minimum membership is $2,000, you get $1,000 for that. Personal membership is $10,000 or $1 million, you get half of that. $5,000 or $500,000. Okay, you get 50% no matter what. And if you don't have the $2,000, we'll let you start with only 25%, just $500 down payments. That's it. And by referring other people, with your referral rewards, can pay off your membership and pay your cash, so you don't have to depend on that measly $1,200 or $3,500 a month Social Security commerce scam payments. You can say, you know what? I don't need that anymore. I don't want it. If they keep giving it to you, use that money for good. You fund freedom lawsuits, freedom media, freedom politicians get elected, folks. The reason is Congress Democrats are rhinos winning because they get money for getting elected from corrupt banks or corporations. But if you have money left over to support good politicians, we can get them in there. More Ron Pauls, more Donald Trumps out there. Okay? More John F. Kennedys, Juniors, who are honest people. They might be all different, but they're all honest. They're not crooked Clinton, Obamas, Bushes, Romneys, McCain's, right? The Republicans. You can give to your favorite church that you belong to, or charity, or good cause. You can do that now. You can be large and giving. So let me suggest you can have a different vision for the rest of your life. You can divorce yourself of that Social Security scam if you just go out there and say, I'm going to divorce that corrupt system. I'm going to get into love and truth. I'm going to educate people, your family first, my family first. Then people you know, friends, if you still work with coworkers, get out there. And you don't have to worry about Social Security. So if you really want and need to get Social Security, do that. It will not affect your income tax, filing and paying income tax right now at all in any way. It's irrelevant. It does not affect you at all. So you can take that money if you want to. Although I don't, I recommend with this system, you can get off that system dependency. With that, folks, I'm going to give you my love. And again, I encourage you, go to our website, freedomlawschool.org, and educate yourself to freedom and work with us to restore America to freedom. So with that, I give you my love. I hope to meet you all very soon at one of my events coming up across America. Check out our events on our website. We're going to be across America doing seminars. And together, hopefully, folks, we can work together and have America be a free country once again. Thank you. Well, hello, my friends. I'm glad to be back with you after several weeks of being out and taking a vacation out in Europe. I'm glad to be back with you guys. I have not taken a vacation like this since I was a kid with my parents. I never taken a vacation. I've always worked so hard, long hours, and it's time to, when you get older, enjoy life a little bit more, so I can be better for you and better job of being fully energetic, refreshed, and help you guys be free and to have America be a free country. After all, what's all this about? To me, this is about freedom for you and everybody out there, the American people out there. Hopefully we can spread that to the world someday, but it starts with each of you, each with me. So I'm here with you guys after not being able to answer your questions for a few weeks. I am here to answer your questions. Now the number to call if you have a question is on your screen. You see it is 424-552-1299. And on your telephone pad you press 1. And I will take your question to one person at a time. You may also ask your question if you prefer by online But the only problem with that is you got to make sure your questions are very clear, because there's no back and forth online for me to clarify what you're asking about. So keep that in mind, please. And I will always take the questions of people who will call the number first. Again, the number is 424-552-1299, and press 1 on your keypad, and you'll be on the queue list of people to get their questions answered. We have right now 3 callers. First, from area code 954. Second one from area code 630. And the third one from area code 941. So 954 area code caller, please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please. Okay. Looks like you dropped off. Okay, no, he's there, seems like. 954 area code caller's there. Let's try one more time. Give him a chance to talk, okay, and get his question answered. All right, are you there now?
Yes, hi. Good evening. I'm here.
What's your name, my friend?
Yes, my name's Hector. I came across you on one of the many interviews you've done. This one was with a gentleman who had lots of advertisements about health and regenerative farming, if that helps you.
Well, that was with probably, with, who would that be? That'd be Mike Adams?
I can't recall. I've watched a lot of other interviews as well, so it's all a blur.
Okay. No problem. I can barely hear you, Hector. Can you get closer to your microphone so everybody can hear you more clearly?
Yes. Does this work?
It's better, yes. Yeah, get close to the microphone.
Okay.
Very good, yes. And what is on your mind, Hector? How may I help you, my friend?
Yeah, so I just heard about you after, unfortunately, filing my most recent tax return, and I plan on not doing that anymore, thankfully. But my wife, she is receiving Social Security disability, and I wanted to know if she would have to continue filing or not. I'm not sure what the route would be.
The answer is simply no.
Okay. And is that going to implicate any of her, I guess, benefits?
Social Security, even the way the IRS sees it, is not taxable anyhow. So she's fine. She does not have to file income tax because she's not a citizen or resident of Washington, D.C. Is she?
No.
Okay, then. She's fine.
Okay.
It's simple.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, what else, Hector?
Some of these exchanges sell us out to the IRS. Are there exchanges that don't for cryptocurrencies?
No, all exchanges that I'm aware of, they do rat on you to the IRS on a 1099 form or something like that. Just like when you work for someone else in America, they send a false 1099 to the IRS. Or you work for an employer at Walmart or McDonald's, they send out a W-2 to the IRS. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter because IRS does not use that W-2 or 1099 information that a third party sends to the IRS saying how much you got paid. They don't use that.
Okay.
As long as they got you convinced, you believe they are going to use it against you, and based upon that belief and fear, you say, well, I better go file a return on my own before the IRS comes after me with penalty and interest, get me in trouble. As long as they got you that way, they got you. But once you know that they don't use those against you, it doesn't matter. Okay, there's over 80, close to 90 million non-filers in America based on IRS's best estimates. And that's on our website, on our 7 steps to free yourself of IRS fear, which leads to deception, which leads to fear, which leads to you being robbed and enslaved. You gotta go to freedomlawschool.org, my friends, and listen to videos as you drive around, as you do errands, wash dishes, or whatever, clean up around the house, whatever you do, or work out, and you understand these things for yourself, and you'll be free. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. My pleasure, Hector. Okay, now we have a 630. Bye-bye, Hector. 630 caller, 941 area code caller. We have more callers joining us from area code 510. Another one from area code 262. And another one from area code 413. So 630 area code caller, please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Sure. Hey, Peymon. My name is Alexander, and I heard about you a number of years ago. I think it was I was deep in the rabbit hole of just not paying taxes and UCC1 and all that stuff, and somehow I found your stuff, and you're the one only credible person that I've ever found to suggest and even recommend that we don't pay taxes legally. So that's where I'm at. That's how I found you.
Very good. Thank you, my friend. Now, what is in your mind?
Yeah, well, thanks so much for having me. And the first question I have is basically both my parents passed away in the last, I would say, like year and a half, and they left me like some assets, which I unfortunately have to sell and get rid of at some point. But one of them is a house, and another one is an IRA, and I have to sell. Well, I don't have to sell the IRA because those are in. The IRA is basically it was set up with a traditional IRA. I'm just finding out, and I just went into a bank trying to figure out how to receive those assets without getting taxed. And they're telling me that they're all, at some point, they're going to, I have to, if I distribute them, or they're called, they use the language and they say distribution, it will be taxed. I'm trying to find out how to have an IRA not be taxed. And they keep telling me that there's no way that that's possible.
Well, they are wrong about that. They are wrong about it, just like most Americans are wrong. Believe me, you have to pay income tax on your wages, commissions, business income, or IRA withdrawals. You know, for right now, probably the simplest thing for you to do is to transfer that IRA of your parents into your personal IRA. You can do that, okay? Or if you want, you could just take it out. The main thing is, the issue is the fact that they will want to probably steal 10% of the money they give to you unless you transfer it into your own IRA. So you want to stop the stealing, the withholding by the IRA custodian, okay? Otherwise, you don't owe income tax on that money anyways. Now, once you have it in that IRA, okay, for yourself, you can take it out the next day, 5 years from now, 20 years from now, leave it there. It's totally up to you. But I think what they're telling you is not correct. What you are concerned with is not owing a tax, because you don't owe nothing. Your parents never owed any money on that because they were not citizens or residents of Washington, D.C., correct?
Yeah, they're from Illinois. Yep.
Yeah. So the issue is that custodian stealing 10% sent to the IRS. You can avoid that by putting in the IRA for right now, at least. Any other? Okay.
Wait, I can avoid that. Okay, so what do you mean? Because when I talked to the banker, I said, I want to put my money into a self-directed IRA, and he looked at me and said, what do you mean? Like he was completely confused.
Well, of course he's confused because he doesn't know. He doesn't do that. He doesn't want to give you control. They do IRA where they control the. Duh, you ask the wrong guy. It's like going to a medical doctor saying, doctor, I want to go be helped by a doctor that does only natural medicine, not using drugs and surgery.
Right.
That's what you did.
Right.
Okay. So
I mean, that's what I've done my whole life with health. But the doctor's like, what? That doesn't make sense. But it just, and then when I went to my accountant, she's like, well, you're already going to get taxed no matter what. So she doesn't get it.
Right. They don't get it. But that's okay. I mean, you can ignore them.
Well, I guess what I'm asking is, I guess I'm okay with not paying taxes because I haven't filed for at least 7 years now. But I guess my concern is, will taxes automatically be deducted from traditional IRA if you distribute them to yourself? Like, will they take 20% off just because that's the tax bracket, or 15 or 30?
It depends on the company where the money's at. Fidelity, some of these big, huge companies, I don't know what they steal, 10 or 20%. That's what they do. That's why I said you want to go find somebody who does self-directed IRS. I don't do them. If you become one of our students, I can refer you to somebody who does them, if you like, to talk to him.
Yeah.
Okay? But then you can control it and take the money out next day, next year, or whenever you want to, or leave it there longer. It's up to you.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Okay. And any other question? You good,
Alexander? Can I ask one more question. The other one is, this is kind of similar, but I haven't had a job for like a traditional job for 5 years, at least 5 or 6 years, because the problem is, like, even if you try and get a job at like a grocery market, the tax law changed in that you can't, as far as I know, like, I don't know how to do it, but I can't even get traditionally employed because it seems like they deduct taxes automatically now instead of giving you the option to, which is convenient to them. So I was just curious, from your viewpoint, how do you get a job and be an employee? Not that I want to be, but if I actually, if I want to actually, I'm just trying to experiment with it. Like, how do you get a job and not have taxes automatically withdrawn? It just, in any state, I don't know how to do it.
There is no,
because they always have you fill out their employer paperwork, right?
You can stop the withholding of income taxes on your paycheck. It's on our website, freedommoscow.org. Okay, so you can do it there very easily. Okay, but it's a payroll taxes, the Social Security FICA taxes. Yeah. Those are the taxes that the employer will steal out of your paycheck automatically because they believe that's what they have to do. But so what?
Yeah.
Start somewhere. Make some money. Think positive. If temporarily, maybe 7% of your money is stolen by the employer, payroll taxes. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. Eventually, maybe you can start your own business. Okay, and you won't have any of those problems. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Yeah. Well, that's what I'll say. I mean, it's very encouraging because honestly, like, I'm pretty young and like I'm not paying taxes, but the problem is, like, I'm not making any money unless I start my own company, but even then, like, so it encourages you to not work for the system and be creative and start your own business. But at the same time, it just seems like it's impossible to be employed and not be taxed. But I don't know. Yeah, like you said. 28.
Okay. Let me suggest that you go get a job anywhere. You can do anything. You get some experience doing whatever. You learn something through that business.
Yeah.
You might move up. You might find a better job 6 months or 2 years later. Okay? And then eventually you learn in life. Look, when I was in my 20s, I had no pot to pee in, just like you. So it doesn't matter. Even in my 30s, by the time I was 38 years old, married my wife, I had only $500 to my name. So it doesn't matter. When you're young and poor, it's synonymous. It takes, over the decades, as you get more life experience, how the world really works, how the business world really works. They don't teach that to you in school. You're going to make more money in the decades following. So do something. Better than nothing. I worked at a Mexican restaurant, okay, where I worked as a busboy below the illegal aliens, and I'm here legally from Iran in my 20s. So don't just do anything. Be glad you live in America, land of the free, home of the brave. people come from third world countries because there they have no jobs at all. They're starved. Here we got jobs, but Americans would say, well, it doesn't pay enough. I want to get paid more. Well, sorry, life doesn't work that way, people. Start doing anything, show your good work ethic and attitude toward work, and in time as you learn, educate yourself more, and time goes on, you'll do better. So I encourage you, get to work, get out of the situation you're in right away, and then get married. Okay? When you get married, have a kid, your attitude becomes even more like a man. Because most men become men in their late 20s, the seriousness of us as a man. Okay? So that's my suggestion to you, young man.
Yeah.
All right, Alexander, anything else?
Okay. No. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, and this is a very simple question, but do you have any, because I was actually living in Colorado and Denver, but I missed your last year's Denver event. Do you have any 2025 events, live ones planned?
No, I don't plan to do much live events anymore. I might go to other people's live events sometime, like the Bitcoin event. Every year I go to that. Because it just, humanity has changed. We no longer have a local town hall like we had 100 or 200 years ago. People come together to walk over to hear somebody talk. Things like that are online nowadays. So we do our meetings online these days. It's too expensive and not productive to do the other way anymore. That's the reality of it. That's why I'm here with you guys once a week, my friends, okay? But I would like to do an event once a year in Florida, just to give people a chance who are interested in hear me and see me in person, to come once a year and meet, and get some education, and maybe some of the speakers I may have. I'd like to do that just to get something going, but I did not do anything this year.
Okay,
Alexander?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Look, make yourself a man by working. Work hard and work smart, both. Not just hard, not just smart. Work hard and smart, you get someplace in life, my friend. Thank you for calling me, Alexander.
Okay, thanks, sir. Bye.
Okay. All right. We have now the call from area code 941. Looks like he dropped off. But we have the 510 area code caller with us. So, 510 caller, please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hey, Peymon, it's Andrew. I heard about you guys years ago on I forgot one of those. I forgot what it was. Anyway, I think it was Flyover Conservative.
Okay.
That program. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Very good. What's on your mind?
Yeah. So I've called many times before. I always listen and try to learn something from somebody else. If I don't want to call in to ask questions, what do I text the mainline number or text this number?
You don't text. You call, talk to a real human being, not a machine. Okay, call us at 813-444-8700. Okay, weekdays, and we open at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we have phones until 7 p.m. So you're going to get hold of somebody to answer your questions. And we also have paid consultations available if you have a more complex, detailed question or you want some privacy extra. That's also available as well. What's on your mind, Andrew?
But the other day you said you were taking questions from online, I guess. How do I submit those questions online?
We're on our online formats like a Rumble, YouTube. These platforms allow you to comment, ask questions there. You can do it as well. We got some questions on there. I see that we're going to get to in front of me. I see those questions. I can get those that way. You can also, up to 10 pages of paperwork, fax, email, or U.S. mail to Freedom Law School. Call us, make sure we got it. Make sure we know it's for the Freedom Law School, Freedom Hour, so that they put it in front of me, and I'll review it for you personally at no charge myself.
Okay. All right. And then brochures. I just call the main line and have them send me some brochures?
You got it. 813-444-4800. We'll be happy to send you these Restore Freedom brochures at no charge. Get them out to your coworkers, friends, family members, at your offices, dentist office, mechanic's office, for people to come and see and get them, you know. No problem. We have to get them out to you.
Yeah, I mean, I got friends that pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes, so this would be really good. And the last question is, you know, I live in California, and sanctuary state and all that. I'm just tired of seeing what they do with our money. I'd love to not have to pay the state taxes. I'm not paying Fed right now, but I'd love to also include the state. You have any comments about it? I know you say it's a communist state and all that, but really I'm getting to the point where I just can't see paying the state with what they're doing with the money, you know.
So why don't you vote with your feet and leave the communist state of California? Why do you insist on staying there?
Been there for 30-something years.
So?
The weather is great.
So? Do you like the crime in Oakland, 51 area code? Like the crime there, expensive housing? You know, bottom line is that God gave us this whole earth to go live and multiply. You know, the founding fathers, previous generations came from Europe, left everything behind the Atlantic Ocean, came to raw land for a better future. You know, I came from Iran all the way across the globe at age 14 with no parents. Just an older brother who was a very shy introvert with no help. Okay, but I stayed here because I like this freedom America provides. You got to take some risks, my friend, okay? And take chances. I would suggest you go other states like Florida and Tennessee and check them out, see which one you like better, and move over there. You know, California is not going to change until it goes down to the bottom first. That's the best suggestion.
That was my question for you. I'm kind of being optimistic about maybe the state turning around, you know, and not being, you know, getting rid of all these communist politicians that we have here.
No,
that's my hope.
And I wish that was the case. I left 11 years ago, okay, and long before that I saw it was not going to change. I left, fortunately, because my wife is from Florida. I visited Florida in 2012, and I thought, wow, this place is fantastic compared to California. Much better, but I've not seen it in person. I've heard about it. I heard the housing is so much more affordable. Neighborhoods are cleaner. No, you don't have nowhere near the crime, the traffic, the homelessness. You know, but you're gonna come see it for yourself. Okay? Anything else, Andrew?
Okay. Yeah, thank you for your input. You know, it's just tough to my kids. You know, they don't want to leave because they have all their friends here and everything. So it's a tough road.
How old are you, Andrew? And how many kids you got? How old are they?
Kids are in their 20s, low 20s. I'm in my 60s.
Let me tell you something. One of the main reasons I left California because I saw no future for my children in that expensive communist republic of California. And I brought them sooner to Florida to get used to Florida. I like Florida. Who wants to change? Nobody does. Who wants to move? Nobody does. We all have to stay put and relax. Everything comes to us. But this is not reality, is it? So I would suggest you get out of it because of them, for their future. I'm 62, you're 60. Come on. How many years we got left? You gotta bring. I would bring them to Tampa, Orlando area. Take them to the beaches. Take them to SeaWorld here, and see how beautiful it is. How much affordable and nicer it is. They're gonna say, "Daddy, that's not so bad after all." Maybe, you know, the beaches are clean, pure white sand. The water's warm. Don't have the traffic congestion. You know what I mean? There's so much. But you got to see it for yourself with your children is my best advice to you, Andrew. And do it now before you get older. Okay, Andrew?
All right. Thanks, Peymon. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, my friend. Thank you for your good questions. Folks, I want people to be free. But you know, freedom and prosperity is not free. You have to pay some kind of a price to succeed in life. You have to get out of your comfort zone. On the neighborhoods you know, people you know, your old friends, make new friends. You know, the founding fathers did. People left Europe and the world all the time. Today, illegal aliens are putting everything behind, coming to America with no family. Many of them. Just for a better future. They don't have the money you do to move, but they do it anyways. For us, it's much easier. So I suggest you consider that, and that's what makes America great. That makes Florida, Tennessee great. Because they're free-oriented states. You know? Why'd you have to live in communism? All right, we got area code 262 caller, 413 area code caller, and then we have 305 area code caller. And let's see, we have, yep, that's it. Okay, 262 area code caller, please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hi, Peymon. I heard about you in the 90s, and I haven't stopped following you ever since.
And what is your name?
Diana.
Diana?
I'm Diana from... Yeah, I was in California. I lived in California just like you, and then I moved back to the Midwest.
Okay, very good. You sound very familiar, Diana. Okay.
Yes. You know who I am.
I'm sure I do. I think I do. But okay, nice hearing from you, Diana, after all these decades. So what's on your mind, Diana?
Okay, I just wanted to ask really quick. This is a valid question.
Mm-hmm.
All the wait staff in the United States of America, are they obligated to pay taxes on their tips?
No one is required to file income tax on their tips unless they are citizens or residents of the District of Columbia. Are you from D.C. or not?
No, I'm not from D.C. whatsoever, thank the Lord.
Okay. Then you're free.
I'm not asking for myself, but I have lots of family that, is in the restaurant business, and they need to know that because they're getting ripped off.
Give them our website. Text it to them. Give them our clip of the video, bro. Or have them over for dinner. Feed them good food. Say, I got something great I want to share with you guys. Please give me 1 hour of your time. Then start with our videos from step one. One video from each step, 1, 2, 3, and within an hour. And then give them our brochure. Maybe do a follow-up for a week or two later if you want, perhaps.
Okay, well, you know what? I will promote you even if I don't get a dime. I'll promote you.
Well, thank you. Join our Restore Freedom Plan, and that way you are being an example of us getting together as freedom-loving patriots like America's founding fathers did. And we are much more stronger. Right. And we can fund you and fund our movement and free America all in an organized, intelligent way because the founding fathers did that. We are following their footsteps to restore freedom. All right, Dana, you've not done it in over 30 years. You know me. Let's get it done now.
Yes. I know, Peymon. That's why my heart bleeds for these young people and what's going on.
Well, then let's do it, Dinah. Let's unite the older generation. Lead by example.
I'll try. I'm disabled now, so I'm still trying. I'm still, as long as I'm still talking, I can do it.
There you go. That's right. And if you want to go in front of supermarkets, pass our brochure, say Restore Freedom. No longer requires 99% of Americans to file income tax. Okay? Don't pay money to the swamp. Defund the swamp. Here it is. Don't pay income tax legally, safely. That's all you got to do. Somebody with some brains we'll go by and say, that sounds interesting. I'm curious.
Yeah, well,
Tell me more.
I'm in Wisconsin.
Okay, so what about Wisconsin?
So these people need to know the rights regarding income tax, and they'll save more money for themselves, and I think that would spur up this economy here if they know that they don't have to pay those income taxes.
So go tell them, Diana. Go in front of the most expensive supermarket, Whole Foods in the area, or whatever, pass by, because on the average, the people that make more money got there because they had more intelligence or hard work, or make more money, or they inherited more money, so that they care more about it. That's the way it works. They're safer also.
Okay, well,
go educate people.
Let me first.
All right. Anything else, Diana?
Okay, I'll take your. No, my dear, that's it. I know how busy you are, and I'm in prayer for you and your family every day, because that's Florida. I'm grateful that they're taking care of you, but just be careful, okay?
Thank you. Thank you. I'm being careful. I guess good news the next few weeks to report to you guys. Okay? So,
okay.
Great.
All right.
Thank you, Diana. Okay,
Take
we
care
have
of yourself now.
Thank you, Diana. Have a great evening. We have a 413 area code caller, followed by the 305 and 603 area code caller. 630, I'm sorry. So 413 area code caller, please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hi, Peymon. My name is Edward. I'm in Massachusetts. How are you today?
Good, Edward, from Massachusetts. Got it. I'm doing good. Thank you, my friend.
I've been on the Freedom Trail for several years, and I've come across your information many years ago. And, of course, I listen and follow often. So I got two basic questions for you. My wife is on Social Security disability several years now. Never filed taxes on it whatsoever, because I understand and comprehend, what you teach, and also federal codes against the Federal Reserve note. So taxes are being taken out of this check of hers. So how do I stop that? That's my first question.
Go to our website, freedomlawschool.org. On the top, center right area on the right, the menu comes down, go to the third thing, it's free yourself from tax withholding. Okay? Click on that. When you do that, the page comes up with step-by-step instructions and a form to fill out and a video on how to free yourself from income tax withholding. That's all you gotta do.
Okay. All right. Good. My job, 6 years now I've been there, and right off the bat, I gave them my W-8BEN form, and no state or federal tax has come out of my payroll for the last 6 years. Today, just today alone, I was contacted by the check writer company verifying that I did not want state or federal tax taken out, but they wanted to take the Social Security tax. And what you're talking about tonight is right on cue for what happened to me today. So I would go to that same page you're talking about to free myself from those taxes from my payroll right now, correct?
Mm-hmm. The only way you could do that is to take our petitions you send your congressman about Social Security FICA taxes and contact your employer. So look, you've been misled. You're stealing my money. We shouldn't. And you give your money also to the IRS needlessly. Why make it yourself out as poor? Stop the income tax FICA withholding from everybody's paycheck. So educate your employer.
I'm sorry, did you ask me a question?
No, I just gave you I just gave you a suggestion on what to do to stop the employer from taking withholding of FICA Social Security taxes out of your paycheck. W-8 Ben by was the wrong thing you did. That doesn't apply to you, but that's not here and there right now. But that's only to stop it by employer.
Right. Okay. All right. I'll have to rethink that one then. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome. My pleasure, Edward.
All right. Have a great night. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my friend. Same with you. Let's go to 305 area code caller right now. We have my friend giving me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hi, Peymon. Good evening. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Good. This is Ty, and I've called in before. Heard about you just from scrolling YouTube during tax season.
Okay.
So my question is regarding the W-4 withholding form. So here's my initial question. Do we need a copy of our original W-4 that we signed and filled out and gave to HR upon our onboarding to make any edits to the W-4?
Any edits? You don't need to edit nothing. We've done that for you on the form on our website. You use ours, not the one that your employer gives you, because ours has a language added to it to protect you from IRS's potential attacks down the road.
Okay. So I don't need my original one.
No.
And let me share why I'm asking, and it maybe doesn't apply, or doesn't matter, but for context. So I am a federal employee, and I was trying to look at my records to see if I had it, and I don't. I onboarded like over 10 years ago, and when I reached out to HR, they told me that due to an executive order, one of the many executive orders, that they were not permitted to go into the system to retrieve such forms. And they told me that twice. So
not a big deal. Doesn't matter.
Okay. And then the other kind of big question here with the W-4, I'll be honest, I don't feel like our HR staff is competent in processing my form. How can I ensure that my form is processed whenever I send in the correct documentation? How can I ensure that it's processed correctly?
I don't know. Because I do not know the bureaucracy of the organization you work for. Go to the payroll department. Ask your manager how that stuff works, They go look online about your payroll department and follow up with them. That's the only thing I can tell you.
Okay, well, it's hard to follow up or connect with them. I think
I know.
It's hard to get any kind of information from them, period.
So if you can't start your own business on the side, do that. You don't have to deal with all this nonsense of the bureaucracy organization. For as long as you work for that organization, you have to deal with the BS also, I'm afraid.
Right. Okay. And I know from a previous call some weeks ago, somebody shared that they had gotten a lock-in letter. Or lock-in, I can't remember what it's called. The lock-in letter saying they've underpaid in taxes.
Right.
How do we respond to those things?
Did you get one?
If we get one.
Did you get one?
No.
Then don't worry about it right now. Because there's no simple answer to those things necessarily. We're doing a lawsuit about the lock-in letters, and oftentimes the simplest answer is to leave the job, get another job, But so there's no quick, easy answer, I'm afraid, because employers are doing the lock-in letter where they don't have to follow IRS's toothless letter, but they're also afraid of the IRS. They do what the IRS says. That's the problem. The fear of the employers is a problem more than the IRS itself. Okay?
Okay. All right. Thanks, Peymon.
You're welcome, Ty. Thank you for calling. Okay, we have one more caller from area code 630. Meanwhile, I'm going to put the call number on the screen. If you have a question, call 424-552-1299 and press 1 to get your question answered. The number again is 442-552-1299 and then press 1 to be added to a list of people with questions. So 630 caller, you're live, my friend. Please give me your first name, how you heard about Freedom Law School, and then your question, please.
Hey, Peymon, this is Alexander again.
Yes.
If it's okay with you.
Yeah, go ahead. What's up?
Yeah. All right. So you know what? As you were talking, and some other people were bringing some stuff up, I just had a few more questions. One of them is, as we were talking about me staying unemployed for nearly 5 years just as a way to avoid taxes. But here's the other part. The other aspect is I chose kind of to learn how to trade both the markets because I feel like that's the highest paying profession and it's an easy way to escape because you can just claim, because basically the way taxes go in that world is you do a 1099 and they don't automatically deduct. But the problem is, or the challenge is, it's also the highest paying tax bracket. So but what I've been doing is basically I don't submit any forms and I just take capital gains as they are. Is it really that easy to escape the tax trap in that world? Is just to not submit a 1099 or a tax as a trader?
You are not escaping any taxes at all, Alexander. You never owed any income or capital gains or payroll taxes to begin with. You gotta get it out of your head that you owe the tax. You never owed it. So stop paying taxes you never owed. You got to take your time to go to our website, freedomlawschool.org, and listen to the 7 steps on our website to be free of the IRS as you drive around town, as you wash dishes, as you're doing exercise, errands, whatever you do. Educate yourself. And you'll understand all, and you'll be free.
Okay.
You're 28 years old, doing no jobs. So make it a point to sit down and listen and learn. You watch the videos. Whenever someone starts at Freedom Law School, I have them watch any of my activists. I have them for 2 weeks read and watch our videos on our website. I invest in them, educating them. So you do it for yourself. Pay yourself. Okay?
Yeah. It's a complete mind shift, I think, that I just need to re-educate myself. Okay.
Yep.
The other thing is, I'm happy to do that. I love learning, and I love your material, so I will dive deep. The other thing is, I need to move in 2 months, and I'm considering moving from Illinois, which is a pretty chaotic state in terms of bureaucracy and lots of other reasons, financial and so forth. But I've always considered, Texas, Florida, Tennessee, some of those big ones, and even Nevada and Wyoming and so forth. And even moving out of the country because some of this is crazy. But after this conversation today and just hearing what are people saying, I'm even considering just staying in the United States because I actually really like the United States. But I guess what I was wondering is, does it even matter? Do you need to move out of a tax-heavy state such as California or Illinois, for example, some of these blue states, if you just understand the law? Because then you can live anywhere and you're just doing your God-given responsibility, which is to not pay taxes since you never owed them. So does it even matter where you live, I guess is my question, which state? Because you're free everywhere, right?
Yeah, you are free everywhere, no matter where you are. I'm just suggesting that, why not be more free? Why be less free? Why be in a communist New York, California, Hawaii, or Illinois when you can be in a freer state like Florida, New Hampshire, or Tennessee? Right? If you have a choice like you apparently do, you just got inheritance of a house and IRA money, you can go wherever you want to. Why not go someplace else? You're a single young man. Make your future new. You got that backup. I know people that want to move out of California. The guy says, Peymon, I have no money. I'm stuck here. I make a little bit of my military pension, a little Social Security. I get a little bit of Section 8 housing assistance. I don't have enough money left to move anywhere. You don't have those problems. Make yourself a man, Alexander. Okay? Go to this website, freedomin50states.org. A great website. Shows you the freedom ranking of the 50 states, why they're better and what ways. Now, they have Florida's number 2. I think they're wrong. It's number 1. Economically, it's number 1. Okay? And nice, beautiful weather also. Okay? Florida. So, but there are other states that are really good too. Okay? It's not accurate exactly in every way, but check it out. Go to freedomin50states.org. Why not a single young man for you go live in a more freedom-oriented state like New Hampshire, Florida, or Tennessee? Why do you have to be stuck in economist Illinois? Right?
Right. Yeah, and I want a family too, like a big extended one, like you were talking about. So it's a big goal. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Alexander. Thank you for asking. Okay, we answer all the questions on the live audience. All the numbers there. If you have a question, the number to call is, again, we can put it on the screen one more time, 424-552-1299, and then press 1. But online, we have a bunch of people with questions, guys, right? So which question do you think I should go there first, guys? We got some people commenting, but anybody that do have any questions we can answer? Let's see. Who we have that have been online and commenting with questions. Okay, you guys are ready? We got some people commenting about, like, okay, here we go. We'll go down to about JN24075. How can I withdraw my 401k if I'm under the age of 59? Just take it out. The problem you experience is that many of these for IRA or 401k custodians, they want to take penalty out of your, or withholding to send to the IRS out of your withdrawal. So go to somebody that can create a self-directed IRA for you, not the banks, not insurance companies, okay? The companies that do that. And then you can transfer the money into IRA, and then you can take it out as you want, when you want, with no stealing up any of it from your retirement account. All right? Now we have another question from No More Marxists in D.C. Well, I like that name. How come the only law calling wages and salaries as income is the federal child support enforcement laws? 42 U.S.C. Section 651-669, which is part of the Social Security tax laws. 42 U.S.C. 401, etc. I have no idea what you're talking about, my friend. I'm not an encyclopedia. I'm not AI. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. You have a conclusionary statement, okay, that there's a law in Title 42 for federal child support enforcement law. I don't know. But my limited research has shown me that these laws about Social Security also do not apply to people in the 50 states. They apply to the people of the 4 U.S. island territories of Guam, Puerto Rico, Virgin Island, and American Samoa. I've not verified it. Title 42 is the most voluminous of the federal tax law codes. It's immense. So I haven't had the time to look at it closely, but I think it relates to people who are in those 4 island territories who don't pay child support. That's my best take of it based upon my limited knowledge in that area right now. Right? Who else has any more questions? Okay. All right, folks. So I guess there's no more questions on chat lines either. But if you have any questions right now, I can answer for you right now. One last call for last questions, 424-552-1299, and press 1, and I'll take your question next. Remember this, people. You have a right to live free. You were born free. I cannot make you free. You have the keys to make yourself free. I can only provide you the education. So go to freedomlawschool.org, our website, okay? And listen to those videos on there. Okay, read the pages and call us if you have questions, things are not clear, you have trouble navigating our website. Call 813-444-4800. Weekdays 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time Zone. And we'll look forward to working with you to have you be free, have America be free, prosperous, and peaceful country once again. I'll give you all my love, my best. I'll be back with you again next Tuesday night.